On this week's show, we move ever closer to Liberty facing Oregon in the Fiesta Bowl. We'll talk about it, and one Flame earns All-American status.
Plus, Liberty Hoops gets back to their winning ways, and a Liberty Golf alum has a career-changing moment. It's all straight ahead. You're watching Flame Central. From the gridiron to the hardwood to the links, Liberty Athletics is making news this week, and we'll bring you all the latest. This is Flame Central. Thanks so much for tuning in. Alongside Matt Warner, I'm Emily Austin.
Christmas a little more than a week away, but this year Flames football fans have more than just December 25th to look forward to. There's a big bowl game coming up.
Oh, there is?
Have you heard?
Good to know. Yeah. That's right. The Liberty Flames are in the Fiesta Bowl against Oregon. For the first time, the Flames are playing in a New Year's Six bowl game. A perfect 13-0 record and a Conference USA championship help make all of this possible. Liberty will represent the Group of Five as its lone representative on one of the biggest stages in college football. The excitement level from the Flames fan base is through the roof, but as we learned during a recent visit from the Fiesta Bowl committee, they're also thrilled to welcome Liberty to one of the premier college football showcases.
I can't express how excited we are to have Liberty come join us in our bowl game. I'm sure you guys are familiar with the Fiesta Bowl and the history, and we've had some pretty exciting games with a Group of Five participants, and we're going to see nothing less this year from Liberty versus Oregon. 13-0, no matter where you are and who you are, you go 13-0, that's impressive. We look forward to seeing a huge contingent of Liberty alum from across the country that can come to Phoenix, enjoy our hospitality, enjoy our weather, and enjoy Liberty beating the Oregon Ducks.
Hey, guess what? There is still time for you to join the Flames at the Fiesta Bowl. If you would like to go buy tickets, head over to libertyflames.com/Bowl Central. Buy your tickets through Liberty Athletics and show your support for the Flames. If you can't make it, be sure to tune in on January 1st at 1 p.m. on ESPN.
So much anticipation for this game and the matchup with Oregon, but let's not forget just how far this program has come in a year's time. This time last year, head coach Jamey Chadwell was literally in his first days on the job, and none of us knew what to expect. That was one of the many things Emily Austin spoke with Coach Chadwell about when she had the chance to sit down with him recently.
Wow, a lot can happen in a year. About 365 days ago, you were hired here at Liberty. I sat down with head coach Jamey Chadwell in the indoor practice facility talking about some of the goals. Fast forward a year, the Flames are Conference USA champions and playing in a New Year's Six bowl game against Oregon. Coach, at what point did you think that this was actually going to happen?
I don't know if I ever did, to be honest with you, until obviously winning the game Friday night and then seeing Tulane get beat. You're thinking, hey, we got a shot. And then you start hearing all this stuff on social media. And then Sunday, honestly, I was like, they're going to jump us. You know, they're going to jump us. You just felt that. And then when to see our name up there and then how surreal that was. Then to see Oregon, then I started panicking a little bit. But if you just said a year ago, taking this job, this would have happened in the first year, you know, I would have said no shot. But that's a credit to the players. And obviously, with man, it's impossible. Lord, it is possible, you know. And it's been amazing just the favor that he showed us through some challenging times.
Regardless of what people say on social media, you guys went undefeated. 13 games you won. How difficult is it to go undefeated in a college football season?
Well, it's extremely, and you know, and sometimes I think our games might look like maybe it was easy. It's never easy because I think what happens is the more you win, the bigger the target gets, the more people want to take advantage. You know, hey, we can make our season right. Two, I think young people, if you can't keep them focused, they maybe start feeling that pressure because there's the outside pressure of living up to this, living up to that, and to be able to do that 13 times and to take everybody's best shot 13 times and to navigate your own adversity that you face, whether that's injuries or playing time, it's hard to do. And that's why there's not a lot of people that do it all the time. And we're fortunate. We've been, you know, blessed to be able to have a group of people that buy into that. But also the coaches did a fantastic job of keeping them focused on what they could control. And when you do that, you can have a special season, and hopefully it'll parlay into a special program.
Your word this season for this team was embrace. And you taught these players what can happen when everybody comes together to embrace. What did this team teach you?
Well, that not to underestimate them. You know, I mean, I think if I look back on myself, maybe I didn't give them as much credit for how hard they worked, how much they did buy in, and how much they believed in each other. You know, I think as a coach, you're always looking, all right, what's the next thing that's going to happen that I have to be prepared for? Like, hey, when we lose, how are we going to respond, right? Because as long as you're winning, well, they're going to buy into that new coach, right? And I was like, all right, well, but once we lose, what happens? Fortunately, we never lost, so I didn't have to see that. But I think I didn't give them enough credit, and I underestimated, like, you know, they've bought into each other, and they believe in each other, and they've embraced it.
How do you feel Liberty's profile has changed nationally?
Well, it's, you know, I think people knew, obviously, you have a good season, but now being in a New Year's Six, everybody's looking, hey, who is this program? What are they about? What's their brand? We're our fifth year of FBS football, our fifth bowl game, but being in a New Year's Six, first year in a conference. I mean, that doesn't happen.
It doesn't.
You know? I mean, that's a story. It's a storybook type deal. And so for this team to be able to accomplish that, to make that happen, which nobody, if you just said at the beginning of the season, hey, can you win the conference? Maybe. But can you be in a New Year's Six? And no, I mean, nobody would have said those things. To do that, this is just going to help continue to put our brand out there, and hopefully as we prepare, college football playoff expands. Now your name's been out there. Now people have seen it. You've been on that national stage. That gives us a great jump start if we can have another successful season next year or hereafter. Then now you have a chance of being maybe one of those top 12, and that's all you can ask for.
How do you balance with the transfer portal, National Signing Day coming up, going out recruiting, you still have a game to prep for against Oregon? How do you balance it all?
It's hectic, and it's challenging. The main thing is you want to hopefully keep as much as your current team as you can. That's priority, got to be priority one, because you already have them, right? And they know what you're doing. So you're working on that while you're trying to bring in and solidify whether it's your high school / junior college, whatever. And then you get into the transfer stuff.
And then you also have a game prep against
the game.
Oregon.
You know, I mean, they're obviously a great team. The quarterback's a Heisman finalist. I mean, he's going to be a first-round pick, arguably. I mean, so best player we played against, you know, by bar none. And then the size they're going to have and speed. Right? I mean, you don't see that consistently, right? Now, have we seen that in the past with Arkansas and some of the, yes. So some of our guys have played against people like that. So, but this year, this current team hadn't. To me, that's going to be the biggest challenge is they're going to have size and speed that we've not seen. And then how can we replicate that and get ready for that and try to, you know, slow them down and try to score. But they're 6 points away from playing for a national championship. They'd be in the playoff. That's how good they are, and we know that. And so, but I think our team's pretty good too, and we're going to win. We're not just going out there to enjoy the trip and, oh, great. We're going to go play to win, you know, and we're going to have to play well to win. Here's the thing I do know. We get the opportunity, and we get the opportunity to do it in the Fiesta Bowl, which has an unbelievable tradition, and we're the first ever Conference USA team to ever do that.
Coach, how do you go up from here? This is just year one.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anywhere else to go up. You know, I told my wife, I said, I think we won too much this first year, so there's too high expectations. But, you know, you go into the next year, and it's a new team, right? But the goal and the objectives will always stay the same, you know, and we're going to continue to play to compete to be our best every single day and put ourselves in position. Ultimately, I've said when I got here, we want to be top G5 team in the country. And so this year we were.
Well, we're excited. I know we've said it a million times. We're so blessed to have you, your family, this entire coaching staff here on the mountain. So pumped up for this bowl game against Oregon. Thank you so much for your time, Coach.
Thank you. Flames.
Matt, there's a stat that I saw floating around social media. Chris Vanini from The Athletic, 44-6. That's Jamey Chadwell's record since 2020. Only 2 coaches to have a better record and more wins, Nick Saban and Kirby Smart.
Wow, pretty good company there. Well, Jamey Chadwell is a busy man right now. You touched on it. You've got bowl prep against one of the best teams in the country. Signing day coming up. So much happening, trying to check out the transfer portal, make sure you keep your team together. A lot of work ahead for him, but what a season, what a first year for Chadwell.
Yeah, after that record, I have a feeling they'll be just fine handling all of that chaos. All right, last week we told you about the mini Conference USA awards the Flames had won. This week, we're talking All-American honors. Flames safety Brylan Green has been named to the 2023 Football Writers Association of America All-America second team. He becomes the first Flame to ever earn that honor at the FBS level. On the year, Green led Liberty with 5 interceptions, which ranks 5th nationally. He also added 38 tackles and was one of the key pieces for Liberty in the back end of their defense.
Congrats to Brylan on the recognition. All right, we turn to hoops now. Liberty basketball had its 20-game home win streak snapped at the hands of Grand Canyon last weekend. So what do? You start a new one. Easier said than done on Wednesday night against a feisty Tennessee State squad. In the first half, sophomore forward Zach Cleveland decided he was going to be a facilitator in this one. Cleveland dropping dimes. He would finish this game with a career-high 9 assists. The Flames had a hard time handling TSU's Christian Brown, however. He scored every which way. The former Georgia Bulldog poured in 16 first-half points, and the Tigers of Tennessee State went to the half leading by 1. But when you hit some adversity, what do? You look to your leaders to step up, and that's exactly what Kyle Rode did. The fifth-year senior got red hot in the second half, scoring 16 of his team-high 18 points after the break. And Liberty's defense, it would clamp down, allowing just 17 second-half points as the Flames get back in the win column, taking it by the final of 74-52.
And LU guard Caden Matheny has been one of the key contributors to the Flames' success this season. But he didn't begin his career here. Matheny transferred in this offseason from Bowling Green. He talks about his decision and what sets this program apart in our Why Liberty segment.
My name's Caden Matheny. I'm from Morgantown, West Virginia, and I transferred from Bowling Green State University, and I'm on the men's basketball team. When I came to Liberty, my main goal was just to find the love of the game back. And man, it's done that and more. Being able to play with the guys that are here, I call them my brothers. They've brought that joy of the game back because man, it's so much fun to play with, and the coaches make the game so much fun. Even though it's serious, we still find our moments to have fun, and the moments I'm making are lasting a lifetime, not only on the court but off the court. My family and I were big in our faith, and that was a huge draw. And then also the coaching staff and the players. I've had some tough times the past 3 years. It was a struggle, I'm not gonna lie. Being here has really it's uplifted me, and it's made my faith grow even more so. That was a huge part in what I wanted in my life. My family and I are really grateful for Liberty doing that for me. Facilities are second to none. And I actually came on a visit my junior year in high school, and when I came on a visit here in college, it was like, wow. It didn't even look the same because everything's just being built, new things after new things, and that's always pretty cool to see and a good sign for a university when new things are always being built. Having the opportunity to be at another university and kind of get a past experience and see what other universities are like, it really gave me the opportunity to see how special this place actually is. When I came on my visit, they all welcomed me and made me feel wanted in a way that maybe other schools didn't. And people here are special. They not only care for you as an athlete, but more importantly, as a person. That I'm not only here to be the best basketball player I can be, but also the best version of myself outside of the sport. And that's the most important thing.
It's great to have Matheny on the mountain. All right, let's jump over to women's hoops now, taking on Old Big South rival Radford. It was a tight game for much of the evening as Liberty would be led by freshman Asia Boone with 9 points. Bella Samuda chip in 9 of her own. But scoring was an issue for the Lady Flames in this one. They would shoot just 27% from the field, and Radford would hold them scoreless from the field for the final 8 minutes and 12 seconds. That would allow the Highlanders to pull away down the stretch as Liberty falls in this one by the final of 57-45.
All right, let's head to the links where former Flame Kieran Vincent was playing in the Live Golf Promotions event. Only the top 3 finishers would secure a full-time spot on the Live Tour for 2024. And this one would go down to the wire. Vincent would enter a 3-man playoff for the final 2 spots. And in that playoff, this putt would punch his ticket. I think Matt Warner did that one time in our Liberty Flames event. All right, Kieran Vincent with a career-changing performance as he will now be a full member of the LIV Tour in 2024. Congrats to one of Liberty Golf's all-time greats. All right, we step aside, but coming up, we celebrate 50 years of Liberty football with a look back at the program's history and how it overcame some incredible adversity.
Plus, Rhett McGibbon joins us to name his top athletes of the week when Flame Central returns.
At Liberty University, we understand life can be unpredictable, and when you need a resilient career, your education should withstand any test. So we've made sure the degree you need is within reach by freezing one of the lowest tuition rates in the nation for 8 years and counting, and giving scholarships, discounts, and credit for work you've already done. Because we're proud of what you do. We've done this for over 30 years, and we know how to help. We're here to help you.
Welcome back to the show. To celebrate 50 years of Liberty football, we're taking you on a journey through the history of the program. This week, we focus on the second decade. It was a time of growth for the program that saw players reaching the NFL, but it also featured a natural disaster that's still talked about to this day.
As the second decade of Liberty football began in 1983, Liberty Baptist became a full-fledged member of the NCAA Division II, accepting membership in the East Coast Athletic Conference. The move made them eligible for postseason play. Then on May 30th, 1984, Morgan Hout was tabbed as the fourth head football coach in program history. His tenure would be marked by both triumph and testing. Wide receiver Fred Banks became Liberty's first ever NFL draftee, selected by Cleveland in the 8th round of the 1985 draft. That fall, the Flames defeated in-state foe James Madison for the very first time. But then came November 6th, 1985, and with it, the unthinkable. The remnants of Hurricane Juan had inundated Lynchburg, Virginia. The James River crested at 20 feet above flood stage. Treasure Island didn't stand a chance. The football building was not spared from the devastation. As Coach Morgan Hout surveyed the damage, reality quickly set in.
I tell you, it was really worse when I saw it than what I thought it could ever be, and I thought it could be pretty bad. I really don't believe that any of it is salvageable. I really don't. Just from seeing it in there today, the way it was strewn around and thrown around and damaged, and I mean, I would not put a young man in that equipment.
Which meant that Coach Hout had to tell the team the heartbreaking news. The 1985 season was over. The players were understandably stunned.
I guess I can just say that I can hit my books real hard and stay. Man, I don't have nothing to say.
Somehow, deep down inside, I just don't really feel it's over yet.
Still, the determination to move on was strong.
We're by no stretch of the imagination down or discouraged. We just feel like the Lord's going to use this as a stepping stone, and we're excited.
And that excitement was rekindled when Kelvin Edwards was selected by the New Orleans Saints in the 4th round of the 1986 NFL Draft. Also in 1986, Wayne Haddix was named Liberty's first All-American. He would end up in the NFL, playing in the Pro Bowl in 1990 while a member of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. In 1988, the Flames continued their upward climb when they joined Division I AA. They proved that they belonged there by ending the first season with a national ranking of number 20. Then, just before Christmas of 1988, the program would turn to the NFL for its 5th head football coach. Sam Rutigliano, 1980 NFL Coach of the Year with the Cleveland Browns, took over the reins after being away from coaching for a few seasons.
I wanted to go back to coaching for a reason. And the reason is I feel like there's a light inside me that this university represents all the things that I believe in.
When Coach Sam got to Lynchburg, he was pleasantly surprised by a diamond in the rough in the form of tight end Eric Green.
I heard about this guy, great hands, great athlete, and then when I saw him...
Over the middle to Eric Green, touchdown!
It was like, you know, Michael Jordan.
Green was instrumental in Liberty's first FBS victory, catching the winning touchdown to beat Eastern Michigan. After his standout season, Green became the first Liberty player to go in the first round of the NFL Draft as the 21st overall pick by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Donald Smith joined Green that year, selected in the 10th round by Minnesota. It was the first time that 2 Liberty players were drafted into the NFL in the same year. But perhaps the most important event of the second decade was the construction of an on-campus stadium in 1989. The 12,000-seat facility opened as a crowd of 12,750 watched the Flames defeat Towson State 38-17.
Still on his feet, 10-5, touchdown.
This would be the first baby step towards the state-of-the-art facilities that we see today. It's been fun reliving some of the great moments in Liberty football history. Well, Rhett McGibbon's here. You know what that means. Warm, hot, and fuego, top athlete of the week here at Liberty. Rhett, do we have a theme this week?
We do. It's near and dear to my heart.
Okay.
National Covered by Chocolate Day.
I know you do.
You know, Christmas is kind of coming around. It's that time of year, right? Everything's smothered.
Chocolate.
It really,
Literally
yeah.
All right,
really
Rhett, let's start with warm. Who you got?
Warm. Okay, it's a men's basketball week. Okay. Everything's coming from men's basketball. I'm thinking warm here. Chocolate covered pretzels are great. They've got that snap. You know, it's just
good snap.
Yeah,
Good
you gotta have the
crunch.
I'm with you there. Absolutely with you. But when I look at men's basketball, this is more of a theme, rim protection. In this last game against Tennessee State, 5 blocks, and that was big for them. This is a group that already tough defensively, right? Pack line's tough, and then they were going against the Tennessee State team. They were really athletic. Like, they had some bodies in there. They had some size as well. Could have been trouble for the Flames in the paint, but they came through 5 team blocks. Shiloh had 2, but Vincent had a monstrous one in this game. And when you look at Vincent, you're like, okay, this guy, we know he's athletic, but in that game, he got up there a couple times. You're like, goodness sakes, he is scraping the ceiling
at
with
6'3".
Yeah,
he's not a tall guy.
Yeah, and they had some bodies that were 6'9", 6'8". They even had a couple 6'11" guys in their roster. So this is, he had some work to be done in the paint, and he came through for them. But a good overall defensive effort by the Flames.
Absolutely. All right, from warm we go to hot.
All right, you got to have chocolate-covered ice cream, right? But you want that ice cream that, like, it touches and then it gets
hardens,
the
like
hardened shell.
The shell.
Exactly.
Yes.
We're right on it, you know. But Kyle Rhodes, my hot athlete of the week. This was a perfect example of how the Flames need Kyle Rhodes in this game, because you look at the first half, 2 points. You mentioned that earlier, and the Flames, real tight-knit battle at the half. But then he woke up, and as soon as he starts providing that offense, if he can get into that 15 to 20 point range, all of a sudden this Liberty team takes on a totally different dynamic. You've got your Porter, who's putting in a regular, 9 to 10 in that area, Cleveland as well. But soon as Kyle can get into those double digits north of 15, this team just seems to win with relative ease. 18 points overall, 16 in the second half, 4 of 7 from three-point land. You needed your leader to step up, and he did it at the right time.
He sure did. Yeah, he was great. All right, finally, Rhett, in Fuego this week, who's your pick?
All right, it is Zach Cleveland. He is my, peanut M&Ms, if you will.
As you know, I'm a big fan.
Yeah. Well, it's the same right here, too. Merry Christmas to me. But Zach Cleveland, big game versus Grand Canyon. Double-digit scoring. But then against Tennessee State, the stat line was fun. I wish he had the triple-double. He was so close. 9 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists.
Unbelievable.
You look at the 9 assists. He is an uncanny passer. He is just working it down in the block. He swings it with the right hand and zips it out beyond the arc, and you have somebody with a wide-open triple look. He has been fun to watch and just comes and helps in so many different ways. It feels like, hey, I need you to do it. Yep, I'll do it. He's Mr. Versatile for this team.
Yeah, and they're going to need him, too, as one of the post players. You think of them as guard-oriented, but he's been really special here of late. Rhett, great job as always. Let's go get a snack after this. What do you say? Stick around. More Flame Central coming up after this.
Welcome to Liberty University's online programs, where living out your calling with integrity is what you train to do. And getting ready for the future doesn't mean missing out on the now. Because a university is more than buildings and books. And an education should set you free, not fence you in. Welcome to Liberty's global campus, where distance learning was pioneered and evolved into one of the top-ranked schools in the nation. Where protecting your budget, your time, and your education isn't just a theory, it's our priority. Here, degrees in your field reflect industry demands and help you get ahead of the competition. Where college comes to you, but you can come to college too. Game day, homecoming, graduation day. Your school, your values, your experience, your choice. Welcome to Liberty University, where we train champions for Christ.
All right, we're about out of time for this week. Want to remind you, tune in to next week's show. It's our Christmas show. Emily will be singing all the Christmas classics.
Joy to the world.
See, that's just a sampling of what you'll get to enjoy.
No, I promise I won't. We'll have all of those classic traditions that we do with the Gingerbread House competition. Don't want to miss it. For Matt, I'm Emily. We'll see you next week.